Hello, welcome to Fence Maker Sim Racing. Today we're playing Assetto Corsa using the Sparco R383 rim, the TH8A Shifter, and the TSXW Racer wheel from Thrustmaster. And we got the MX5 Cup car at Barcelona. Let's get this started here and see how it goes. Alright. I just did this whole video, well, this whole race without sound. I didn't realize that till the end when I went to edit it. Alright. Don't expect to win the race. I didn't before, but it should be good enough to keep traffic around me while I'm talking about it. Alright, so basically just want to talk about the struggles of sim racing. And just like how it can be pretty challenging and difficult to keep entertained while you're trying to press, because you're always pressed for time to get better. That's just how it always is. That's the nature of racing, really. But basically, like, about how equipment does matter to a certain degree, and about how it doesn't all really happen as soon as you want it to. Whenever it comes to gaining the skills, you might need to achieve the goals you want to with racing around even specific cars and track combos, because everything's different. It's fun though, and that's my whole perspective. Is just as long as you're having fun with it, that's what matters. It can be hard to come up with different content. Most of my videos are pretty much the same, but that's because, like, I don't know. I don't try to stress out about it yet because I have a lot to learn. I'm still somewhat camera shy. I'm still just trying to pick up the skills that I can along the way of watching other sim racers and other professional real-world race car drivers and stuff like that, and like watching their lap times, not their lap times, but their laps, and trying to see what kind of lap times they're getting, and on similar tracks that I'm racing on. And it's interesting. I love the sim racing stuff so far. I'm still somewhat sloppy, but I'm also, whenever I'm doing these videos, constantly talking, which does distract me from really being able to concentrate purely on performance. Ooh. Lately, I've been using a lot of paddle shifting cars and stuff, and haven't really been driving a manual. So it's interesting to do this. That's actually why I chose this car today, just to get back into that for a second. I rarely use this rim either. I'm always using the P310 because it's a little bit more comfortable for the GT3 style racing I've been doing a lot more of. But it's always like, if I see a round wheel in a car that I'm driving in the simulator, that's what I want to have on it. You know, I don't really want to be using like a D-shaped rim with a round wheel in a car. A little bit too picky, I guess. But one of the subjects about sim racing is just, it can be discouraging to see some people's setups and you're just like, wow, that's gotta help, you know what I mean? It'll make you faster, and sure, maybe it will, to have like triples and be able to see a lot better around you, get a better peripheral, and just a direct drive wheel, and being able to feel things a little bit better, and just shaving tenths off of a lap time just because of that, you might think. But I don't know if it's that simple. So I think it's best to work up to things like that just in case too. You know, like, I went from the T300 to the TSXW, and even though this is a little bit stronger, it's not such a big jump that it was probably worth the investment. You know what I mean? It was, at the time I thought it might make me better, but I'm not sure it did or not. It definitely feels a lot stronger, and I like that, but I think that, like, the advantages of a direct drive wheel are much more than just a little bit of strength. But I don't know. I'd hate to put like $2 grand on something and find out that, like, it's only like a little bit better. Not that $2 grand is like the going rate, but I mean, I've seen some of the setups that people have. It can get crazy, obviously. Some of them are kind of in a way more appetizing than a real world sports car or a supercar. And some of them cost as much. I'm not ashamed of my little setup though. I love it. It's amazing. Ooh. Got rear-ended there, damn it. I must have been going too slow. I do like the way this car feels a lot though, and that's the thing. Like, force feedback itself does matter quite a bit for speed. Like, if you're not, for me anyway, like, I'm not the kind of person who could feel it out just by visually looking at it with a controller and just like, oh, yep, I got it. Nope, I don't have it. Not like that. That's why I upgraded to having, like, even this belt-driven wheel, like, made a huge difference in my driving ability in these simulating games. Couldn't do it before. Some people can. But I gotta be able to feel which way the tires are going, and I gotta feel the tension of the grip and stuff like that. It helps me quite a bit. In some cars, like this one specifically in this game, is one of the ones, to me, that feels great. It feels like driving a real car, to me. Maybe not exactly, but it definitely feels like you're rolling down the road. It's weird. Just how real it can seem. Because I don't know, it has such a perfect tension, and it's like transition from one side to the other whenever the wheels do, you know, whenever you're going through a series of curves. Doesn't have some sort of lag in it, doesn't have some sort of like knocking that I've seen or felt in a lot of other cars. And Assetto Corsa, oh, the force feedback's all over the place. And actually every simulator it seems to be like that. Like where there's like just like a grindy vibration, like constantly in some cars, depending on what you're driving, or that just doesn't feel real and sets you out of it, while the next car you drive in the same game can feel like absolutely real. Or not necessarily absolutely real, but smooth and good compared to everything else. And it's just like some cars they completely neglect just because they're not, I don't know. I don't really know what it is. I could never figure it out. Ooh, what am I doing? Oh, there we go. Not great, but I got out of there without going off the track. Still in the same place I started, but oh well. Yeah, anybody who feels that they should be starting a YouTube channel for sim racing, just do it. It's amazing. Just the fact that some people will watch your stuff, and it gives you drive to just keep pushing through, and to eventually maybe just stay with it long enough to get some of that really good stuff, and just then you're really in it, you know. Then the major part of the sim racing world where you have the triples and you have the VR set and you have the motion rig and stuff like that. And not everybody wants all that stuff, but there's definitely some cool stuff I want. And some people are naturally faster than others, where me, I feel like I'm not naturally faster than anybody. It took me quite a bit of time to figure out all the stuff that to even achieve what I have, which isn't much as far as skill goes, but I promise I don't always drive like such shit though, because you know, obviously when I'm just racing by myself, I'm not trying to talk at the same time. It does seem though, however, every once in a while when I'm doing a video, I'm like, wow, what the hell am I doing? I'm like doing something completely crazy that I would never do otherwise. Ooh, too much. Ooh, I didn't even realize this is the last lap. Dang it. Ooh. Sim racing is some good fun though. I'm so glad I got into it. all the joy of racing with minimal risk of death unless something really crazy happens at the same time you're doing it. Right. Yeah, that's that race though. Yeah, I stayed in the same place the whole time, which is better than I did whenever I recorded the video before without audio. So I'm happy for that. But yeah, I don't know. Basically, just I just wanted to make a video that just discussed some of the challenges, and I know that was pretty scattered and stuff, and I know that there's a lot of people who just can't seem to, you know, keep their mind on track whenever they start something. You know what I mean? Start like a YouTube channel or things like that. And I hope that this video gives a little bit of inspiration. You got to keep it entertaining. Don't stress yourself out too much. Like, you got to practice, that's for sure, and it does take as much time as it seems like it's going to take. But like, you have more time to do that than you might assume in the beginning of, you know, of a challenge. So it's just like, don't spread yourself too thin, and make sure that you keep your focus. And my focus is basically like, it is the equipment at the end of this. I want my dream rig, but I want my YouTube channel to somehow eventually pay for it. Like that way it can be justified, and at least that I didn't waste a bunch of money that I shouldn't have put towards it that way. And I've definitely have had an investment. The initial investment has been, you know, fairly expensive for everything, like having like the cockpit and everything mounted to it. And, you know, I eventually want to do my own like wooden rig, so I don't have to spend a bunch of money to get those like really high-end aluminum profile ones, which I would love to have. And if I ever go to a motion platform, I'm gonna have to have that kind of stuff just for my own comfort with it. And I definitely want triple monitors. I definitely want to have that stuff, and in order to get that stuff, and with the direct drive wheel and all the stuff that, you know, all the expensive rims and really expensive pedals that are all hydraulic and stuff like that. That stuff, it's so expensive. But this sim racing channel hopefully will stay alive long enough to push me into being monetized, so I can have that stuff, and then I can basically just do reviews and just live the life of, I don't know, being able to travel and with my career and do the things I want to do. So hopefully this channel does push it on to something like that. But anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good one, and stay positive.